Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek. A bit of Star Wars news. This is from Inverse. It's saying Dave Filoni just confirmed that Star Wars is becoming Marvel. I think it's been becoming Marvel for a while. Anyway, as usual, links in the description down below. And don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment. Hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. I'm also on Rumble and Spotify and Amazon Music Podcasts and Google Podcasts. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Links for those are in the description, as are the links for my 2 books, Silent Predator, short horror novella about big cats, roaming round a North Yorkshire village and, eating the occupants, basically. Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and all that kind of stuff. It's all just a bit of fun. They're on Amazon, Kindle and paperback. Right, let's get this news up. So here we go. This is from Inverse. Dave Filoni just confirmed that Star Wars is becoming Marvel. And there's Mando and Grogu, but you can't see because he's behind me. There he is. The Mandalorian was a strange addition to the Star Wars universe. For the longest time, the franchise was focused on movies, with books and comics as optional side stories. Even when animated series joined the fold, they weren't required to understand the sequel trilogy. But The Mandalorian, Star Wars' first live-action TV series, wasn't supplementary material, it was essential viewing. It showed Force healing powers mere days before they were used in The Rise of Palpatine. And now that... But it was explained in The Rise of Palpatine that they could do that. All these special stuff that Rey and the other one, Kylo Ren, could do. Because they were a Force dyad. So how did Grogu do it? Is he a Force dyad with somebody else we haven't met? No, he ain't. And now there's speculation Grogu could appear in Star Wars movies set decades in the future, as the Mandalorian bathes in the Star Wars spotlight. The Mandoverse is starting to look a lot like its sibling franchise, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And there they are. That's Dave Filoni in a cowboy hat and Jon Favreau. I don't know, they look like they're hiding behind a Star Wars celebration wall. Keep the fans away from us, they're saying. In conversation with EW, Entertainment Weekly, something like that, Mandalorian co-showrunners Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni discussed their plans for the newly dubbed Mandoverse. Filoni reflected on his long past working in Star Wars after the Clone Wars and Rebels, and used that experience to predict the future of Star Wars. I won't try and do his voice because he's got this reedy, whiny voice that's just annoying, isn't it? I think for a long time, as I've learned to work in this galaxy, it's a long play, Filoni said, and if things go right, you'll get to do more of your story. Things I think have broken in a good way for us, and the people have enjoyed the characters that we've been making. I think broken's the operative word, particularly for season 3. So certain opportunities came up the further we went along. I think opportunities came up for Dave Filoni the further they went along. Jon Favreau seems to be sidelined a bit, but I don't think he's going anywhere. There's all this talk that Jon Favreau's left or is leaving. I don't think he is. But I don't think he'll be as busy. Those certain opportunities seem to be taking the form of both spin-offs, the Book of Boba Fett and the upcoming Ahsoka, which I really like the trailer for that, to be honest. And an upcoming movie that will wrap up the Mandoverse as we know it. While details on the film are still vague, EW suggests it could be an Avengers-style crossover, that sees the Mandoverse characters meet up for one final job. If so, Disney's 2 biggest franchises are going to become even harder to tell apart. When's this film coming out? Because it takes them 2 years to do one season of The Mandalorian, doesn't it? So are we not going to see Mando again and Grogu until this film comes out? If they start working on it now, because films take a couple of years to do, don't they? At least. Anyway, and there's the lovely Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan Kryze, and there's Grogu and Din Djarin. The long play comment suggests the master plan for this new slice of the Star Wars galaxy is much more forward-looking than the story threads we've seen so far, but with the Mandoverse's post-Return of the Jedi timeline, there's a lot of opportunity to expand on characters who weren't given the room to breathe in the original trilogy. Well, like Luke Skywalker. Never mind. We're in the right area code, Filoni said. I was going to talk about Grogu, but obviously you want in Return of the Jedi, wasn't it? But they're supposed to send Grogu off with Luke and then change their mind immediately, didn't they? The producers or whoever, Kathleen Kennedy, and sent him back to Mando straight away, but not even in the Mandalorian series, in the Book of Boba Fett. So if you were a fan of the Mandalorian and didn't watch the Book of Boba Fett, you didn't know what was going on. But I presume like 99.9% of people, that watched The Mandalorian also watched the Book of Boba Fett. More than likely. Anyway, we're in the right area code, Filoni said. John Favreau, you don't notice John Favreau's not saying anything? We're in the right area code, Filoni said. We are definitely in the right space. I think it's going to be a clamouring of characters saying, how do I get in this picture? And that's what John and I have been figuring out. Though Star Wars isn't Marvel, its style of planning ahead and crossing over characters may come in handy as The Mandalorian evolves into a whole era of Star Wars that expands upon old ground. And don't be surprised if, a few years from now, we're talking about entering The Mandalorian Phase 2. I'm sure that is going to happen. We're in Phase 1 now. I mean, it could be argued that Season 3 was the start of Mandalorian Phase 2, wasn't it? Phase 1 were the first 2 seasons, leading up to and giving up Grogu. And then Phase 2 started at the end of the Book of Boba Fett when he got Grogu back. And, the fight for Mandalore was the start of Phase 2. But anyway, there we go. Right, so there you go. But like I said, there's rumours that Jon Favreau's left the building, the Disney building at least, or the Star Wars building, the Lucasfilm building, whatever building, Skywalker Ranch. There's rumours that he's left, but I don't think he has. He might not be as prominent as he was, or as he hoped he was going to be. I think that fella there, Dave Filoni's... you can't see, can you? There we go. That fella there, Dave Filoni, I think he's positioned himself, or has been positioned, to basically take over from Jon Favreau's major duties. Which will include a lot of the writing. I think Jon Favreau maybe just has some ideas, jots them down on a post-it note, sends them across town from his office. Or faxes. They're still fax. I bet they do. I bet they do in Hollywood. I bet they still fax stuff. Faxes them over. Notes for each episode. Which is why each episode's only like 5 minutes long, with like 20 minutes of credits. And the paintings at the end of each Mando episode are the best parts, aren't they? The concept art paintings at the show, they're amazing. They're the best bit. Anyway, we'll leave it there. I forgot what was this article about? Anyway, I've forgotten. Oh, are becoming Marvel? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're entering Phase 2, and then the movie, whatever it's going to be, directed by Dave Filoni, is going to be the Avengers, innit, of the Mandoverse. Will they have Luke in it? Will Luke Skywalker appear in it? They'll probably make him the baddie, probably. You know what they're like. Anyway, right, we'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll say there.